Welcome back to another live session. Another very important trading day after you started back to back quite a few sessions. The day before yesterday we had a successful session, and today also expecting another successful session. Welcome back to this live session from Forex Trading Wizard Academy. I hope that everyone ready for big hit today. Coming up later, we'll see FOMC, and definitely we should have some stronger movement in the market with the FOMC coming up. If we look at here, you can see this is the calendar. In my zone it's 4 a.m. so we will be also looking at meeting minutes coming up, and that will definitely have some a movement in the market. That's what we're expecting at the moment. We will be looking at quite a few instruments such as XAUUSD, GBP, also currently trending, which is good to see that GJ had a very strong breakdown here from the lower time frame. From the daily, we can see the market has broken below here on GJ. If we look at the dollar yen, also we had a 200 pip trade yesterday on dollar yen. I also posted analysis on that one. We'll be discussing this instrument as well. We can see the dollar yen currently also trending in that zone here. We'll be keeping that on the list here. So along with XAUUSD, we can see this instrument we have seen from the daily has made significant break to the upside. Currently it's on a pullback, and if it is coming to an important level, we might see either continuation to the downside or again potentially bounce back up. So let's create the both double window here for both XAUUSD and for dollar yen and GBPJPY. If we look at, I will be preferring dollar yen at the moment. You can see this instrument is in a strong downtrend, so we will keep a dollar yen, British pound US dollar. British pound is in a pullback, so I would prefer to look at dollar yen at the moment. As you can see here, it's the 15 minutes on dollar yen very strongly downtrend. If we look at the daily chart, we see that from the daily perspective, after yesterday's bearish candle formation, the market managed to break below. We see that there is a daily head and shoulder here on dollar yen, and that might lead the price back to the downside here on the lower time frame. And with that being said, if we look at the 15 minutes here, we can see that this is the lower time frame on dollar yen, and in this lower time frame we will be waiting for the price to potentially this is the daily price as you mentioned here on dollar yen, and this is the level that we can see that dollar yen might be coming back here to that support level. And 15 minutes here, we can see this is the lower time frame. In that lower time frame on dollar yen, anytime we could see further downside here. This is the 15 minutes. Here is multiple liquidity. This kind of candlestick pattern is high probability. If you guys a passionate trader or patient trader, then this kind of candlestick pattern is absolutely important to look at, and we will be discussing on those kind of candlestick pattern on dollar yen to see where the market might be heading in this situation. So you guys can also read this kind of candlestick pattern, trade yourself. That's why this live session we focus on more on education, developing the trading psychology as well as the live trade. So dollar yen keeping on the watch list. Once we see that, we will be entering into the trade. While we can see that XAUUSD is currently it's in a, at the moment it's in a downtrend here, and that is where we saw the market has had a break of structure in that area on the lower time frame. And with the break of structure, we can see the price potentially having so we can see that on XAUUSD, this is where there is a break of structure on the lower time frame. And with this break of structure, we can see the price, what we have seen that from that level, there is a full break of structure in this area that might lead that price back to the downside here. This is the 1 minute chart here. We can see the price showing a possible drop to that support level where you can see the market is in a sharp downtrend here. We saw that there was a bounce, and then immediately the market managed to break from that resistance line, which we could see that XAU USD potentially now to drop to that previous resistance turn support here, and we may see the market to possibly break below in that direction. Here we can see the price slowly having a very strong downtrend here. So what we could see that this is the 1 minute chart. As you know that we look at the lower time frame, but at the same time from the higher time frame perspective, we may see the market to revert back to that support level here that we can see on the lower time frame. And 1 hour chart, what we can see, the price is almost has come back to that level where it may, what we see that here in this area there is a possible this is the 30 minutes price action where the market had a complete break in that area. So we can see that this is the 15 minutes price action, and the market trend is currently significantly here locally showing that bearish, and in the bearish trend. So if we look at, guys, you can see this is an order block here. So previous order block here is where the market might be coming for a retest of this previous resistance, which is in that area, previous resistance turning support here. So in that zone, as the market started to trend here locally, what I think that the price may continue to drop to that level, and once we see the price has dropped well below, that's where we might see the price to give another possible entry opportunity. Now locally we see this is a currently in a sharp downtrend locally lower time frame, and so local time frame, looking at the 5 minutes, you guys can see that this is the 5 minutes price action where, and the 30 minutes we have seen there is a break of structure here, and that break of structure has given XAU USD the possibility for another drop here that we can see locally. And so what kind of price action it is basically forming on XAU USD is that you can see this is the 1 minute chart. There was a complete break here followed by this pullback, and it's in a consolidation here, and I think that we may see that the market to potentially drop again to create a new lower low. We will be looking for suitable entry opportunity as soon as we will find that. In the meantime, thank you for joining the live session, traders. If you guys are enjoying this live session every single day that I'm posting, if you guys can hear me, say yes or type a number on the chat. If you can't hear me, then you can type N. If you can hear me, you can type Y, so that I know that you guys can hear me and I'm heard and clearly understood. Because it's important that what I'm saying is, you know, anytime we might find an entry opportunity. So I'd like to see that everyone can hear me and I'm reaching my voice to all of you in your ears. So if you guys can hear me, okay. So Ahmed says yes, we understand you. Good, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so here we can see that this is a lower time frame price action on XAUUSD. This is currently in a downtrend. You can see dollar yen also keep pushing down. If we see that along the way suitable entry, we will be entering into the trade on dollar yen. Here is on gold. This is a you can see it's still keep pushing down here on gold, and now here in this area, okay. So before we look for any potential entry, let's do a multi-time frame analysis, which is very important to look at when we are looking at the market, looking at the monthly chart to see overall picture in this market. So looking at monthly here on gold, we can see that let's delete all of these lines here to understand where the market is in fact in relation to everything. So you can see that this is the monthly price action on gold, and from the monthly we can see that this is a resistance line here, and in that resistance from the monthly, the price, we can see that from that level there has been significant break below, and as we discussed in quite a few of our analyses, gold possibly coming for a deeper pullback, but because it's a long-term bull market, it is not very easy for the sellers straight away to sell. So you see some kind of a movement that we can see up and down, but at the moment the price approaching that monthly resistance, where we could see that for the price to have another potential rejection from the top. Now looking at the weekly chart here, we can see that from the weekly where the market is, this is where key points to look at on XAUUSD. So this is the weekly price action. You can see we still have 2.5 days, almost 3 days remaining for this weekly candle to close, but where we can see that this is the weekly resistance, weekly high, weekly opening and closing, and the weekly low here. So what we see that from that level for the price to potentially either to reject again or to potentially bounce. But at the moment, the way the price action is heading, both directional bias is still possible, because if we see that weekly close as a strong bullish candle, yeah, still possible for the market to keep pushing up again. But still this candle is not closed on the weekly, therefore we still can expect for the market to potentially break again in the direction where it was heading early this week. So if we want to understand it from the daily perspective, here is from the daily, this is a potentially a bullish rejection from this level on the daily, and we saw there was a daily drop, break of structure, and we can see that immediate reaction to the upside. But I wouldn't still consider it as a strong bullish movement for new higher high, which we could see. But at the moment, because today so far the market has made its move to the upside, and lower time frame we can expect for this market again to potentially reject in the direction of the trend. Now looking at the 4-hour chart here, this is where at the moment I'm paying attention. Is this is the 4-hour candle. You can see 1 2 3, this is the fourth session, 1 2 3 4, and in the fourth session on XAUUSD we see there is a long rejection, a big rejection here, and with that rejection we can expect for the market to potentially drop again to the daily level. So this is where the daily, this is the previous daily resistance, which is starting support here. And yeah guys, this is where I'm paying attention at the moment. there is a probability for downside for short-term perspective, at least on the lower time frame, though we see that so far today is more whole bullish so far. And because it's whole time bullish, this is the 4-hour candle which is having a very strong rejection here. So once the mark candle is here, we may see before the candle close another bounce, and that's where we could see the selling opportunity. So my bias, I don't want to say, because I want to know also your bias. Thank you very much. Welcome. And let us know what's your bias today on gold. Do you think that it's gonna be bearish or bullish? What is your bias on gold at the moment? So what's your bias on gold? I have posted a poll, guys. So if you guys cast a vote, will be helpful. So here you can see the market in that area. So this is the 30 minutes price action, and let's look at the 1 minute chart here to see now what kind of price action it is forming here. Now we can see the lower time frame, the market. This is currently in a downtrend after multiple liquidity grab, and 4-hour, as you can see, the price is almost to the 4-hour support level, and that's where we may see that the market to potentially to retest to this 4-hour support level before it bounce back up. And currently you can see the market is approaching that 4-hour support, where what I think that it may retest here and then could have a reaction to the upside. And if that's the reaction, this is the 4-hour candle, you can see, and that reaction could bring that price again back to the upside. And then how this 4-hour candle is closing is important. Now if we see that reversal here on gold, that's where we can look for entry. Now you see that so far you can see this is a long rejection. The price has just come back below the 4-hour level, but if it is coming further, all right, so you see that here this is the previous support level. If it is having a reaction to the upside, this is the 4-hour candle, again we are looking at that, and I would like to place a buy stop here, because if the market react to the upside, we might see again another possible bounce in that market. So you can see it's trying to move again back to the upside, so you'd like to take that move if it bounce back up. So we might see the price to, for short term, to bounce back up if we see the price is going up. So I'm placing a buy stop here, 30518 level, stop loss below this low here to be target to that level, to this liquidity zone. Placing a buy stop at 3051 and buy stop at 3051.82, stop at 3041.12, and TP at 3065.41. Placing a buy stop here with a the significant tight risk. So if this market is having a reaction to the upside, we will be entering into the trade. So we place the buy stop, and also we'll be sharing the same trade in the community where the members are trading. We will be looking at, we had a really great week this week as well. That's what we need, right? 200 people on dollar yen, we'll be discussing on that as well. So you can see that XAUSD, place the buy stop here at 3051.82, stop at 3041.12, TP target 3065.41 level. That's what the buy stop that I placed on XAUSD. And if the market is, getting a reaction here, then the probability that the price will go back up again, at least some part of this 4-hour candle that we can see. And that's the main reason why we have opened the trade. And we will be waiting to see that the market to, in fact, potentially, if it move back up, we could see that potentially bounce. If it doesn't, then we may see that complete break of structure and falling back to the daily. If you look at the daily here, you can see this is the daily. This is where I would like to draw this daily support here. It may drop further. If it drop, then if it breaks below, then we might see even coming back below that level here, which is the daily level. Okay, so looks like to me that it may remain bearish. So if that's the case, we will not enter into that. That's why I placed the pending order here, because if it bounce from this 4-hour support, then we might see at least a reaction to the upside to this liquidity zone. If it doesn't react to the upside, then we might see the market to potentially remain bearish. And in that case, we will be looking to see how the 4-hour closing, and based on that, we can look for entry. Patience is key, as I mentioned, guys, more often. So when you are patient, you know that exactly in what situation to enter, in what situation not to enter the trade. It's a key here to learn and grow as a trader. Thanks for joining the live session. I absolutely appreciate your support to the channel. And in this channel here also, we are helping thousands of traders every single day. So make sure, guys, you stay tuned for all the content that I'm posting every single day by subscribing to the channel and also pressing that bell notification bell so that you are not missing any of the content that I am posting every single day. Dollar yen, yeah, dollar yen is so far bearish. We will look for we will be looking for any entry. As you can see, it's moving up for a pullback, especially dollar yen if it is this current candle going back to that level here. So if you look at the 4-hour, you can see if this current candle going back above 144.93, we will be looking for selling opportunity this market. So if it is going up here 144.93 or near there, we can look for selling opportunity. In that case, this is a liquidity zone. We could see that bearish drop in that market. So here it is. So you can see, guys, the market is still showing bearish. So if it is showing bearish, then let it drop, because we don't want to trade against the trend. If it breaks from this structure, that's where we might see that potential entry in this market, right? So that's the key here, to understand when to enter and when not to, right? So this is where most traders fail to understand potentially, that when to trade, when not to. This is a key points here. So if you guys look at, you can see that when the market trends, our goal here is always to trade with the trend, right? And that's why I haven't entered any buy yet directly by market. But then why we place the pending order? Because 4-hour trend is still bullish. If you look at the 4-hour, let's look at again, review the 4-hour chart. You can see the price on the 4-hour opening and closing, and this is a long week candle. So if it get a rejection here, we might see that some weak fill to the upside here. So this is where that's why the trade was open, because if it react from the 4-hour support, we may see the market to go up again from that level to get some extension to the upside here. All right, so that's the key. Let's wait to see what kind of price action it might be forming. some reaction coming here. So if it is moving back in that direction here, that's where we'll be able to see that the market to possibly to if it move back up, we will be in the trade. Otherwise will remain to see. I think we might get a trigger here. What do you think, guys? I think we might get a trigger. It's very weird music. So if it get a trigger, we might see that possibly a reaction to the upside. That's what we're waiting to see, that reaction. If it is coming up, if it isn't, then we may see that the market, if the bull's not getting enough strength, we might see the price to straight drop back again to the 4-hour support level and the market to remain bearish in that case. So you can see some reaction coming here. So you can see that the market here in that area is again has got a reaction towards the downside. So the market trend is still maintaining that possible bearish here in that area. And with that bearish trend, let's wait to see how the price is potentially forming that structure in that area. And a red strong bearish engulfer here. So we can see here what I think that from this support level we may see yeah, possible reaction upside is possible here. There might I think we may see a potential upside bias from this level to have a bounce. Let's wait to see. Our entry is here, so that's where we are well in a zone where if the market not breaking the high, then we may remain here to see that it's bearish, but I think we may see some reaction. And guys, the key here is to make sure that you do the risk management, which is very important, to have proper risk management plan depending on what kind of strategy you're using, which is very important to look at. Now long week, expecting to have a possible a bullish reaction to the upside. Here there is a long week. Want to see the market is heading to the upside here and then to react. Now if this is having a reaction, then we may see that one or two couple of candles to the upside, and then probably we'll see again breaking below. So if it had a breakout, then it might try to go back up to this liquidity zone here, and then to potentially return again with the 4-hour close. So we see that 4-hour close, quite a few. This current 4-hour candle close is still remaining, that we have 1-hour candle is closing with a huge rejection from the top, and after the 1-hour candle close we may see some short-term bounce here. That's what we are looking to catch. If that short-term bounce is not there, then grabbing liquidity, we might see the market to remain bearish. In that case, if we see the market not going up well above after the candle close, we might even look for sell setup, depending on what kind of price action is forming. But at the moment we are looking to see that possible bounce here for short term, and with that bounce you will be on the trade. Thanks for joining the live session. Absolutely appreciate your support to the channel, and if you are enjoying the live session that I am posting every single day, the content analysis as well as the trade ideas that I am posting, to access all of them, you can access all of them by subscribing to the channel. So you see that potential reaction to the upside here, which is, you can see the market possibly now you can see it in fact bounced and still not triggered the trade. So once we trigger, I will be giving a shout out here that the trade is active. I think nearing to the entry. So look at the 1 hour, we can see the 1 hour closed, and so both of this trade active at the moment. So we can see the market is so you see there is a it's possible for an upside reaction on after the 1 hour close. waiting for the market to possibly have so here it formed a narrow a breakup structure. The question is the market remaining bullish here, or it's getting a reaction to the upside again? Let's wait to see what kind of price action is forming. We can see there's some possible a lower time frame reaction here. It's the 5 minutes, and so what kind of price action it has formed? Let's wait to see. So we see there is a narrow doji, and from this level expecting an upside reaction. The trade is triggered, and we are on the trade. We are on the trade, guys. So let's wait to see some results to the upside. And we are on the trade, and we'll be waiting to see some pip gain here in this area, and we can see. I would like to see the market is in fact remaining bullish here. If we look at the 30 minutes, 15 minutes, which is showing that bullish price action so far, expecting it to have another bounce. I would like to catch at least to 58 level, which is we see that the market in this lower time frame remaining bullish. And as I mentioned before, from the 4 hour, we saw there is an inverted head and shoulder formation. This is the key, guys, to understand actually how the market is trading, how the market is trending, and based on that to trade the market. So here is the 1 minute. You can see this is another candle closing, which is also for me potentially bullish price action, unless we see that the big boys are hungry and getting another reaction. So I think that still we could see that potentially upside here. And let's wait to see it to moving back up to if it reach 3058 level, will be 51p running profit. And wanna see it's breaking above here. It's a complete bounce. And also I would like to explain the strategy. It's not all about, guys, one trade. It's not about one trade. It's not about two trades. It's about you become an independent trader. And that's the main goal of Forex Trading Wizard Academy, to help the traders who really want to be better at trading and to become an independent profitable trader. And that's why all my strategy available now for anyone to learn, to grow as a trader, to become a better trader. All the strategies available for anyone want to access. Do you want to access my strategy right now? Let's see. First of all, here, as you know, in trading no one wants to give their strategies, but here is different. Okay, so, and that's what I want to see, that every member in the academy, including all the members in this channel, all the subscribers and non-subscriber, to be able to become a better trader, learning and growing as a trader. Just the only thing that I need is, guys, you become enthusiastic, you become curious as a trader, and having a clear a vision about where you want to go as a trader, right? So there's a 1 minute rejection. Don't want to see that it's breaking again below. Let's wait to see. Okay, so if it is, why that reaction? We are still running profit, but let's wait to see what it is trying to do at the moment in that market. So this is the 15 minutes, which you see still to be upside, and this is the 1 minute, which is having a reaction to the upside, which you can see the market is moving in that direction. So we'll be looking to see. All right, so you can see that it's having that reaction to the upside. Yeah, we can expect further bounce. All right, so would like to see the accessing that level here. Good job, guys. Let me know how many of you are running profit at the moment. Okay, so my setup, well done. Should I close it? I don't know. You need to think. I'm sharing my experience. So now here is what we can see. In that area, we can see that the price is getting that reaction in that area. So what we can see, well done. Okay, so it's moving to the upside to the TP level at the moment, and we are almost 55 pip up, 55 pip profit running. And yeah, I would like to take that trade now, closing it fully with the running profit, 57 to 60 pip profit. Okay, so we got that more than 60 pip. So summing up to this week, 360 pip alone on gold, and let's keep it up. Okay, so I'm out with this trade here, which is got to be 60 pip. Yeah, so a little more than 60 pip, 60 pip profit taken. Now guys, as I mentioned here, the real trading is when you know when to exit and when to enter based on market structure, liquidity and price action. Now today is the last day. Today is the last day for 95% off. Tomorrow it's going to be normal. Okay, today is the last day with the 95% off joining the academy, because we already have quite a few members I have quite a few programs to, that almost blend everything to give it to the members to learn and grow as a trader. So this is the website. You can find link below this video straight away. It's now 95% off, ending straight today. Last day to join. You can right now, you can visit the website www.forextradingwizard.com, and once you are on the website, this is got a rejection. Once you're on the website, scroll down straight away. If you are joining today, you can get access to 95% off, lifetime access to everything, all my trades, tools, strategies, education, VIP chat is almost free. Not gonna give anyone this kind of strategies, but today anyone joining within 24 hours get 95% off, and after 24 hours it's gonna go ending. So you guys, right now you can join, and once you join, make sure you check your emails, including the junk folder for the website login detail. Here you will find the student dashboard where you can find all the courses, and also another email for the VIP group where you can join the group for regular analysis as well as the regular trade alert that I'm sending. So 2 emails, make sure you check out. If you don't receive anywhere, you can check your junk folder as well. So once you join that, you can take that opportunity right now for 95% off. Scroll down to the website and join. If you have any question, also you can use the live chat on the website where you can get all the answers that you need. So with that being said, let's look at here on XAUSD. After this successful trade, which one we can look for next, guys? We here is the key, that keep in check your over trading. All right, so make sure you're not over trading, because the profit that we made, we need to keep it on the account, on your trading account, so that you can avoid over trading, which is very important to look at. And let's wait to see here what kind of price action is formed. All right, so you can see that from this level it's getting an upside here. Thanks for joining. We'll be looking to see further probability on dollar yen. As we mentioned, it's almost reached that liquidity zone. Would like to see that it's breaking that above, and then we can potentially look for an entry on dollar yen. Okay, so we'll be looking to see what kind of price action dollar yen is forming. Okay, this is where, and the market is approaching that, and then we can look for that potential entry on dollar yen. So you see that here, this is the liquidity zone. Okay, so dollar yen, look at the 4 hour approaching that level, 1 hour 30 minutes, 1 hour approaching, 30 minutes approaching, 15 minutes approaching, and then yeah, this is the 15 minutes where I would like to keep eye on dollar yen. If it is crossing that high, that's where possible opportunity for potential selling. I strongly believe that, guys, you're enjoying this live session. Make sure you give a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. Okay, so here what we can see, after this doji, it's getting that potential rejection on 4 hours, so we could see still remaining bullish. Dollar yen getting a rejection from this level here, but I wouldn't, it might just keep dropping from that, but I wouldn't be interested until we see that the market has crossed that previous liquidity zone, which we could see or could not see. So that's the plan. If it bounce back up, we'll be entering into the trade. If not, then we will not. That's how it is. And if you guys enjoyed this session, make sure you give a thumbs up. We still have a lot to take. We still have to go, long way to go. We only have less than halfway of this session, so we have more trades coming up. Are you guys ready for another big one in that market? All right, let's look at now. Okay, so here is, now the question is, if this instrument, let's delete those lines here and let's re-evaluate the structure. Now you can see that, as we mentioned before, this 4-hour candle close is important, because if we see that this market, this 4-hour closing as a if it is closing as a narrow candle here, as a potentially narrow doji, then the next one probability to go up. Okay, so if it is closing a very strong bull candle like that, big bull candle in the last moment, then we might see that after a false breakout, the market may return back down. So it's the other way around. So basically, if this 4-hour candle closing like that, so these are observational, guys, keep in mind that observation is key. So if this 4-hour candle closing like that, right, as a narrow doji, then the next one, we might see the price to potentially cross that low and then straight going back up. Possible. I'm saying, not saying that it's gonna happen, but this is how it might happen. So that's how we will be entering into the trade based on that. The other probability is this 4-hour candle, if it is closing going back up like that, a big green candle. Okay, so if it is closing as a big green candle and a full body green, and then the next one might go a little bit up and then boom, could drop down again in that direction. So keeping like that, the trend line. So depending on how the price is reacting at the moment, it's still maintaining that bullish structure. So we still be looking for buying opportunity until we see that the market sentiment changes here. Now looking at 1 minute chart again, you can see it is forming here a bullish structure, and it may keep pushing up to this level here. So in this area, we have around 40 minutes for this 4-hour candle to close, and in this time period, if we see that break of structure, that's where we will be entering into the trade. All right, we will be entering again once we see the break of structure. We'll see the dollar yen, it's pushing back down here. We can see that here is pushing back up. Waiting for that possible bounce. So we'd like to see a breakup structure here. If we see the breakup structure, and then after the breakup structure, if it is bouncing back up, that's where we could see that the market to possibly to go back up to that resistance line. So we'll be waiting for a potential breakup structure here. So you can see here there's a structure formation, and it's the 1 hour chart. So trading with the trend is very important. When we are entering into the position, we need to always keep in mind that we have to look for the trend directional bias. So when you look at the market, you know that one always to look for the market that is trending, and it's the key to become a better trader is to look for the market that is trending. Here is what kind of structure is forming. It's to look at, important. So looking at the structure formation here, this is a interesting price action formation here in that area, and we can see that, or I think that this structure may break above that level to the resistance line to create a new higher high, and the possibility to break above is higher here, and we could see the market to possibly to remain bullish in the major direction, where we can see the price is heading to the upside to create a new higher high. And yeah, we can see there is a breakup structure. So the market trend, as we mentioned before, is still remaining bullish. So you may see that the price to go back up again to the major direction of the trend. If you guys look at it, you can see the market is in this area after a structure formation. It's got a break to the upside. So 4-hour candle, if you look at it, you can see the market has dropped here and then again started to move back up. So as the candle close coming in 28 minutes, so let's see that how the price might be closing here. 30 minutes price action. If you look at the 1 hour here, we can see that after this drop straight back to the upside, so which is possibly showing that the market again remaining bullish. And that's what we discussed in the beginning of the session, the market to possibly to remain bullish. And here is what we can see, that 1 hour price action also showing that possibly market to bounce back up. Thanks for joining the live session. Absolutely appreciate your support to the channel by giving a thumbs up. Running in profits are welcome. A nice one, coach. Yes, absolutely. This is a nice one, and we'll look for more opportunities. And because as many better trade as we can take, that's our main goal here. As many better trade as we can take. Now, this is where from the support level had that bounce to the upside. Now at the moment the market is pushing back to the upside here, which is liquidity zone, and wanting to see the market to push back to the upside to create a new higher high here. Now we can see the price slowly breaking below here, and any pullback to the downside can give us that potential entry here. We'll see that where it is heading to. You can see that 1 minute chart, the candlestick pattern formation, which is showing that possible bullish. It's heading to that 1 minute liquidity zone. So 4 hour, we can see it reached that previous level again. And almost approaching that high. Now 4 hour is still 26 minutes remaining. After break of this high, we'll see that if it is getting a reaction from the top, it's still in a uptrend here, and that's what we will be looking to see, that after this uptrend how the market might be doing in that area. And we can see that pure uptrend at the moment. And with that uptrend, we see the price has reached that level where there is a liquidity 4 hour zone, where there is the market is in that liquidity zone, which is very important to look at to see that how the price has reached that level where there is a high liquidity. And as we mentioned before, if we see the complete break to the upside, we could see, okay, the market has crossed that previous high. Now I would like to see if the market is reacting from that level or is still pushing back to the upside. And exactly where we look for an entry, that's the market nicely moved back to the upside. We had 61 pip, but depending on okay, still moving up, and can keep pushing back up. I mentioned there is an imbalance here. Okay, so it's pushing up to that imbalance. And all right, so let's see. You can see here with this movement, okay, it's still moving, still pushing back to the upside. Now how the 4 hour closing is really important. Okay, so how the 4 hour candle closing is important, because that's where you will see that where it might be heading to. If you look 4 hour here moving back potentially to the upside to that liquidity zone here, and okay, so I'd like to see that, waiting for Okay, we can see the dollar yen has reached that liquidity zone, but I would prefer this one to directly go back to that liquidity zone. So if it hit that liquidity zone into one candle, which may be on the higher time frame, that's what it is. But the 15 minutes zone here, I would straight away open sell. But at the moment, we'll be waiting to see what's happening here. Okay, this is where the narrow consolidation at the moment. 4-hour candle is full body. This is what we were discussing about. If it is closing as a full body, we might see still upside, and then we could see that potential reaction. And there is a huge imbalance here, so it may keep pushing up. And you can see this is the daily price action, where this is the daily candle opening, and as it is moving up, this is the previous neckline here on the daily, and yeah, it could be heading to the 3100 level. If it is, we see that it's showing that pattern. But in the minute we see the breakup structure, that's where we will be looking for entry. We always look for entries on a breakup structure. That's where we will see that high probability setup. I'm looking at the multi-time frame on a gold. We can see that its all-time frame trend is bullish at the moment in this market, and that's what we're looking at. So the way here it's forming is the probability for upside is still higher. Guys, look at, you can see quite a few narrow dodgy formation here, so which is possibly a bullish bias. As a rule of thumb, that should be breaking to the upside here. Now, how the candle is forming. Okay, so upon this break of structure, let's see that if it is again potentially trending back to the upside, or it's just a simple liquidity grab. Looks to me that the market may remain possibly you could see that may remaining bullish. So here is looking at the lower time frame. We can see that in that area on the lower time frame, looking at the 15 minutes chart and the 5 minutes. So looking at 4 hour to see if it is getting a reaction from the top, and okay, so dollar yen, we can see that after break of this high, what kind of price action dollar yen is forming. We got a liquidity grab from the top, and I think dollar yen may remain again for some time to be bearish here. So we see that there is a stronger liquidity gap. Let's see that what kind of price action is forming. 30 minutes. Okay, so we're still not seeing any clear directional bias on dollar yen. Look at the 1 minute chart on gold. We can see that this market is potentially, this is the 4 hour close coming in a couple of minutes, and I think the price may still remain bullish to the upside in this market. So and here what we can see, that lower time frame, so there was a break of structure, and again moving back to the possibly to the liquidity zone again. depending on the candle close, we will be able to see that in fact what is the possible clear directional bias here. Now 4-hour close coming in 8 minutes time. What's your opinion in that? Do you think that the market may remain bullish, or it's again coming back below here? Let's see what it might be doing in that area. So we will be looking to see that possible bias. Now if we look at the 15 minutes candle on gold, here I see that there is a possibility still for bullish reaction to the upside, but how the 4-hour close is absolutely important. Gold sell. Now we have bought and we secured profit, waiting for further entry. If you're now no, there is no trader like hourly trader. A trading is depending on I trade XAUSD on 1 minute and 5 minutes time frame. I don't think there is any trader like hourly trader, but looking at multi-time frame is very important when we are opening position. You guys can see me and hear me. I see there is a little bit of freezing here. Can you write on the live chat if you can hear me? We will be waiting for further entry here. Now looking at the 4-hour close is very important, as I mentioned before, and from here we saw that bounce on gold, and you can see that this is the daily pricing, which is also showing that movement to the upside at the moment. And I think the possibility for the market to remain upside is higher. So you can see that here on the bull side, the market after this you can see approach that liquidity zone, which is a very important area of value. Here we can see, and with that approaching that liquidity zone, the price may potentially hit the previous high. There's a W formation. Now the question is this W that we see could be moving back to the upside, or we could see the downside here. And here is a weak fill that on the 15 minutes, 4 hour also showing that possible movement. So we have 4 minutes to go for this candle to close. So you can see that on dollar yen here on the other side, this is a break to the upside on dollar yen, and that might give possibly a downward pressure on dollar yen, possibly in that area. We'll be seeing that what kind of, once it prepared, is still in a here locally bullish, so we'll be waiting for that to happen. And 4 hour closing on gold, that you can see on the 4 hour the candle is closing on gold, and what you can see that this is a resistance line. Thank you. Let's look at to find another possible entry, waiting for the market to show that proper entry opportunity. And you can see that here I'm looking at in this lower time frame to see what kind of price action is forming. Because if it is, you can see if it is forming an inverted head and shoulder here, which we saw there is a W formation, then we could see that further upside with the 4 hour close, or complete rejection. I think the bias for me possibly to the upside, but still we need to wait for how the candle is closing, as we discussed in the beginning of the session. What's your opinion on this one? I have posted a poll. Let's see, 58 votes, 78% bullish, 22% bearish. Well done. And we see that in fact majority of that vote has played out to be exactly. Good afternoon, William from South Africa. Happy to be here. Welcome, William. Kizito. Yes, we can see you. Thank you for confirmation. And here is that the market is forming that structure here, waiting to see for the price to so you can see 1 hour candle closed. That's a bullish candle. Now with that 1 hour close, either the market is heading or moving up. 4 hour closed, that's a massive bullish price action. Now in that area, the question is having a complete break or further upside. We look at the daily here. Daily level is up, so 4 hour closed, and I think that the bulls may still try to keep things to the upside. Now the bulls still may try to keep things to the upside here, as if we look at here, you can see this is a long-term bull market. Possibility to break to the upside is higher. So here, what kind of price action it has formed, which is for me, I think the possibility to again break out and then to trend to the upside. If you guys look at it, you can see that the way the candlestick pattern is forming, which is struggling to bounce, but I think ultimately you could see that okay. So here is the markets form a possible structure here, 4-hour closed, and then the market to, you can see it has after the candle close tested the low. Now the question is the market to possibly breaking out again or coming back here to the downside. We're waiting to see that what kind of reaction the market might be doing here. And Okay, so here it has got a reaction, so let's wait to see if the market is reversing here. We may see some short-term reversal in that area. Let's wait to see. It's the 4-hour candle, and with the candle close we can see the market is from this level is carrying that reaction. Either you could see sideways or keep moving up again. Now looking at the 30 minutes, so you can see the market here. If we look at the 4-hour again, after the candle close, we may see the market to moving back up. So we see that after this, the market from here has got rejection from the top. You need to look at either this is a rejection for reversal, or you could see that the market again going back up to the liquidity zone. looking at again here, so we see there is an inverted head and shoulder here, that signaling that potentially the market to again have a possible break to the upside. 4-hour close, we see the 4-hour candle here, and that's a bullish market, and the bias to break to the upside is higher. So we're waiting to see that the market is going up to hit that level. The market trending, approaching here that the bullish market is higher. So here after the liquidity grab again, possibly to trend to the upside. As FOMC coming today, the market still remain highly volatile. So we're looking to see that if it is remaining that volatile here, and then to trend in the major direction. Okay, so after multiple liquidity grabs, so possibly, as we mentioned, it may keep remaining bullish to the upside for long-term picture on XAU-USD. Now here's what you can see. This is the level where the price remaining bullish. We'll be looking to see where it might be heading to, and in that zone here, this is 30 minutes and the 15 minutes here, there is a doji formation, expecting it to keep pushing up here to that liquidity zone. With the 5 minutes here, you can see that there is a doji, multiple doji formation in that area, and we could see the price to moving back to the upside again to create a new high in this market. So here is, we see that there is an inverted head and shoulder, and that may bring that price back to the upside here. Daily chart is where there is a liquidity zone. This is a pretty strong move for today in one day, as because of the FOMC and FOMC meeting minutes coming, and that will, before this kind of news, so you see that the market remain very volatile, especially trend, which is essential to trade the market. While we see the dollar yen 15-minute chart, we see there is another rejection here. Let's see that on the lower time frame, is there is any entry opportunity from the 1 hour, from the 4 hour. Dollar yen, it's in a consolidation. Still, we don't see any clear directional bias here. Let's keep up on gold here. Now, reduce the strategy on gold. What we can see that this is a nearest support here on gold on the 4 hour. So if you look at the 4 hour support, and I think that if the market is breaking any of this low, again lower time frame, that we see that it's still trending, but if we see that from here a break of structure, that could be an opportunity for us to go long after break of structure, which is we may see, may not see. As you can see, it's trending, but if it breaks from this structure to any of this support, that's where you can look for buying opportunity to that level. And I hope that guys, you're enjoying the live session. We had a successful trade. We would look forward to have some more, and in the meantime, if you are enjoying, make sure you give a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. Press the notification bell so that you are not missing any of the content that I am posting every day. Here is, we see that the market has made another move, and all right, so dollar yen, we had a big trade that you have seen yesterday. Now, what was the strategy behind this trade? Let's look at, I have also posted analysis on the channel, if you guys have seen that. Now, looking at the 1 hour chart, you can see here is dollar yen, the trade was opened here. Now, this was the liquidity grab. That's what you talk about. Let me replay the trade here. So the candle was here. So you open the position, and that's where I have opened that trade for this potential drop to this support level here. There is a liquidity. It's a high liquidity zone, and we had a massive drop here, almost 200 pip on this trade. Now, what was the reason behind the trade. Now the number one reason that I have opened that trade is trend. More often I talk about a lot about the direction of the trend, and I do, all the trade that I open, I do share the full strategy in the VIP group. If you guys looking at following up, you can see that. So the one that dollar yen was open, that was sent out in the group, which is 200 pip. This is the trade. Now this is a swing trade. I do share some of my swing trade as well in the group. Now if you guys look at it, you can see dollar yen here is this is where there is you can see this is a structure. Now key here, okay, if you want to catch this kind of trade, this is the key information. You can't take all the information, definitely, as human mind cannot process all the information at the same time, but when you know the key points, it becomes easy, right? Number one, the priority number one is the trend, right? So the trend is down. That's the number one priority when I am opening trade. Not only me, any successful professional trader, everyone uses the trend as the primary source of their directional bias. So the trend in this market is bearish. How do you know that the trend is bearish? If you are not sure about the trend, please don't look at a smaller picture, right? You need to look at the bigger picture. How do you look at the bigger picture? Look at everything, okay? Look at the galaxies, look at sun, moon, stars. Then you can see the bigger picture, right? Then you see that how small we are in comparison with that. So when you look at the market, look at the bigger picture like this, zoom out of the chart and see what you can see here, okay? So that eye that can see, not that eye that can see. So you can see that here series of lower high, right? When you look at the bigger picture, you can see that series of lower high. So it's in a downtrend, a big drop, pullback. Now there are 3 secrets in the market to trade the market. 3 secrets, nothing else. The rest is poor translation. Market structure, liquidity, and price action. So when you know that how to read the market structure, you find the directional bias. The next thing that you need to look at is price action and the liquidity. So where the market has grabbed the liquidity here, you can see that in this downtrend, there was once liquidity grab, dropped and has broken that high. That is where the massive liquidity grab, that means that there has been a lot of stop loss hit in that zone. The smart money got that liquidity for potential move, and there's second step of liquidity gap. Normally better to look for 2 to 3 steps of liquidity gap. If you are not sure about how to understand 2 to 3 steps of liquidity gap, stick to the channel. There will be new lessons coming up, because these are the things that I more often don't share, but now if you guys want to understand it, because there's a lot of information as I mentioned, so it takes a little bit of time. There will be a new lesson coming on that, how to understand that 2 to 3 steps of liquidity grab, right? Because there are traders who become impatient earlier, they are stopped out, and then there is a second group of traders who think that they are patient but just to see that they are stopped out, and then there are third group of traders who are the most patient and the smarter, right? Now they still don't win those who are the smarter than the smartest. So that's where you need to look at. This is where the third steps of liquidity gap, where the market grab the liquidity and then to trend in that direction, right? So this is where, if you guys look at that, the market is preparing for a drop, and that is the probability. This is where, you know, as a trader, to look at probability. Okay, so when you have a more than 60% probability along with stronger confluence, that's the trade that we need to open. That's the trade that we need to look at with proper risk management, right? So this is what we are looking at, and that's what happened in the trade. You can see that if we replay the chart here, and yeah, this is what, okay, so that's boom, that's drop back to that where we our TP target. Now at the moment, with that being said, on dollar yen, okay, so here is the liquidity grab and then drop. This is a trend. We're expecting it to break below, and this is the 4-hour candlestick pattern, expecting it to trend in that direction. All right, so you can see that here dollar yen, this is the move on XAUSD. Here is, we can see the market, it's, so here, as we mentioned before, with that drop on dollar yen on the 4-hour, it's now pulled back. We will be waiting for further confirmation on that one. We will keep it on watch list. While on gold here, four-hour, what we can see, that breakout is from the multi-time frame, which we might see that in the, you can see this is the daily support turning resistance, 4-hour also approaching that level. So you see this is an imbalance in the market on XAUSD, and that imbalance is where the price may be heading to the upside to fill that imbalance here. And okay, so here, if we see that breakup structure at the moment, so you see already the price has made a move on 4-hour time frame on XAUSD. This is an important support level, and from that support, okay, so if we look at, this is the level that we can look for possible entry once we see if the market breaks from the structure, coming back here, and we can look for further bullish entry. At the moment, we can see that on this instrument, it's maintaining that bullish market structure, so we might see the price to potentially keep pushing back to the upside to that liquidity zone or to the resistance line. Welcome, I think bearish. So Yes, we are looking at that one to see how it is doing in that area. And you're waiting for a possible break of structure here. With this dodgy formation on the lower time frame, it's narrow structure. Okay, so as we mentioned, it's potentially coming to that support. Like to see that it's breaking below that level. 4-hour candle coming to that support level, and once we see the price has dropped well below that level, that's where we will be looking for entry in this market. This is a now let's wait to see what kind of price action it is forming. Without retest to that support, not be looking to look for any entry. Okay, so we see that after this drop again there is a move back to the upside. So this is the intraday support at the moment. So we saw that from here the market made an upside. Now if it is coming for a pullback to that 4-hour support level, that's where you will be looking for possible entry in this market. And here is we can see the market slowly, waiting to see that it's possibly coming here and then to potentially trend to the upside. Thank you. Your patience, as I mentioned before, guys, patience is key to become a better trader. And do you think that you are patient as a trader? What's your thought on your trading psychology? Reflection is very important as a trader. So if you're not reflecting, then probably it's not gonna improve. Do you think that you are patient as a trader? How many traders here believe that you are patient? You can share your personal journey as a trader. Okay, now here we see that break below in that area. Coming to that 4-hour support. 75, a little above the 75 is the level that we can look for. So this is where, if the market is coming here, yeah, this is where we see the price is potentially dropping to that 4-hour level. Okay, so we can see some rejection from the top, waiting on the price to reach that 4-hour level. And from here, if it is coming back here, we can expect again another bounce. And that's where, if we see the price showing that enough confirmation, we can look for entry. Now this structure that we can see on the 4-hour time frame, this structure that we see can be considered as a reversal or just coming for a pullback and then moving back up. It will depend on how it is reacting to that 4-hour level, and that's what we wanted to see, that the market has come well below before it potentially bounce, but I don't consider still the market to potentially reverse here. Instead, we could see the price to retest here that support and then to return again to the upside. We see that move. Still waiting for another drop to 75. That's why you see that the market is it dropped to that 4-hour level. Okay, it's coming to fill that zone, 4-hour support here. So first we'd like to see that it has broken well below. So we saw that has got primarily a reaction to the upside from this 4-hour candle, and So getting some reaction from this 4-hour support. That means we might see a possible inverted head and shoulder here. So you'll be, I will be placing a market buy here, long position, starting from here, second trade for today, for a potential an upside bias here, from this level. And we see there is a, before we open, we see there is a reaction. Okay, so we will not be going ahead, there is a rejection. I couldn't open, and we'll be waiting to see what I think we might see some, there's a doji, so not opening here to see what's happening. After the doji, it got reacted to the from the top, so 4-hour support, it may come well below that level. See that rejected from the top. And if we look at the 4-hour, you can see the price has, okay, so there has been now long wick candle formation here. So there is a, if we look at here, there is a long wick. So 4-hour support, the price below the 4-hour support, and this question is the market to trend or to remain bullish here. What have we seen here? The market may have we see that it's dropped to the support level now. Now it may trend in that direction or going back up to the liquidity zone. Let's see how this candle is closing is important. So 1 minute. There could be a possible have a change of trend. So if it change the trend, we'll see that if it is a false breakdown going back up or it's changing the trend. That's what we're looking to see. If it is a false breakdown, then we might see that going back up to that here, to that liquidity zone, which is a very important liquidity zone. And in that case, we might see the market to go back to that liquidity zone. So what we're looking to see that the trend direction here, and I think the market trend, if it is changing, then we should see that break below. If it is not changing, we might see from here again another breakout. So until we see the directional bias, we will look to see to we'll be waiting to see in fact exactly what kind of structure it is forming. So looking at 4 hour again, we can see the market has broken below the support level, and I think there is a possibility for change of trend here in that area. And before that, we'll see that exactly here what kind of structure it is forming. So the way the price action is heading, I think we may see that possible a break of support here. If we look at the 1 minute chart, you can see the market is, the price is trying to break below here, and there is also head and shoulder here. So there is a possible for a break in that direction to the support level here. For us to enter, would like to see that this is a very important liquidity zone and the support level, and so the way it has formed this market structure is a high probability for a drop, and that if it started to drop, it might break here to 3050 level. Now if the market, as I mentioned, started to drop here, we may see that there is a complete fair value gap here. It may keep pushing back down here where there is a liquidity, and I would like to place a sell stop here in that area, stop loss above this high, and we'll be targeting to that level. Sell stop at 3065 level, and if it breaks below 3065.87, stop at 3073.89, TP at 3058.35. Placed a sell stop here, and if it is breaking below, we will be entering into the trade, which what I think that we might see that drop. Placed a sell stop here, and yeah, we got triggered that trade. Sell stop active. Now this 1 minute candle, if it is closing as a bearish engulfer, like to see that it's breaking below, and I think the way the market structure is forming, there is a possibility for a break to that support level. And the 1 minute also forming possible liquidity grab to see. Yeah, I think the market trend might remain bearish here, and we can see that it's in that direction where this is the second trade for the day. The first one we gained 61 pip, and this one there's a fair value gap, so the mark, if it keep pushing down, we might see that straight coming to that support level, to the where there is a liquidity here. The way the market structure form, I think we could see that coming to 3050, which is the order block level here, unless we see the big boys are hungry very for multiple liquidity grab. The price action possibility for me is to the downside. Here is trying to pull back to the upside. Okay, so here is yeah, the market structure. Let's wait to see what kind of market structure is forming. So if we look at 15 minutes here, like to see that there is a rejection. Let's see what kind of price action is forming here. Still on the trade, and this might try to bounce back up, but the 15 minutes were unusual, but would look to see that, because without retest of this 15 minutes 20 EMA, price shouldn't get that much of bounce here. And if we look at the 1 minute here, so for the trend continuation, as the price reach that liquidity, let's see how this here the price is reacting. As it has bounced back up to the liquidity zone, it's still possible for the price to again move in the direction of the trend here. This trade might be so. Let's see how here the market trying to create that structure 4-hour level that it has reached again to the so it we are stopped out here. Let's see that what it's trying to build that in that area. So this is a complete bounce, and it can easily, this is a false breakout here, which more often happen. So let's see if the market after this false breakout, what kind of price action it is trying to build. It just went out for a liquidity grab, and I think we could still see that the market again coming to that level. Because if we look at the 4-hour here, price have reached that zone where there is a liquidity. Let's delete those lines. So yeah, still we could see that the market to retest this support. And I think the market, if we look at the 1 hour here, this is the 1 minute candlestick pattern. There is a possible for 4 hour price again bounce back above the 4 hour resistance line, and the question is the market again creating a bullish 4 hour candle, or let's wait to see. Yeah, I think have you already taken that one? The second entry didn't work out. The first one we had a huge gain. This one we had to let go. Now at this point, if we look at the 4 hour again, so there was an unusual drop and it just returned back to the resistance line. Now this is an important liquidity level. Let's see how the price is doing from the 4 hour, as it has managed to break out. We will be waiting to see if the market is coming again for another retest or is still maintaining that bullish market structure. So the trend is always playing out here, and so you can see that the trend is playing out for whole of that. So 4 hour almost reached that resistance line. So the rapid trend is playing out here, and we can see the market keep pushing back to the upside. So we'll be waiting to see where the market is potentially heading, and okay, we'll be looking to see. Now once we see the market is in that trend, we will be re-entering once we see the prices shown confirmation. And in the meantime, I will keep watching the price action, guys. I hope that you have enjoyed this live session. We will coming up again trading live together. So until that, stay well, stay happy. I'll see you again trading live together.